Okay, let's unpack this. Our sources today are taking us into cross-border e-commerce, specifically this Chinese shopping agent, KakoBuy.
Right.
And our mission really is to figure out where a a functional business model tips over into something else.
Yeah.
Exploitation of hidden costs, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Is it actual fraud or is it just, let's say, problematic business practices? That's the question.
Yeah.
So KakoBuy, it markets itself as a totally legitimate agent. It says it connects international buyers to huge Chinese sites, Taobao, Waidian, 1688.
So they're the middleman, basically, handling the buying and the shipping.
Exactly. Procurement, logistics, all that.
But the chatter online, what people are actually saying, it's dominated by this idea of hidden fee theater.
Yeah, that term comes up a lot.
You see a product, looks cheap, maybe $10.
Right, a really attractive price point.
But then that price just becomes, well, economically absurd once you get to the end.
Right.
Suddenly you need, what, $30 for shipping that wasn't mentioned?
And that lack of clarity, that opacity, it seems highly intentional. The agent pricing model is already a bit complex, right?
Yeah.
You've got the product cost, then a service fee, then international shipping, which crucially gets calculated way later.
Ah.
So this multi-step process, it feels structured to deliberately hide the true cost until you're already kind of committed to buying.
Okay, so if they're building this cost confusion into how they operate, how's it playing out with their reputation, like trust ratings and things like that?
It's definitely damaging them. If you look at, say, Scam Advisor, KakoBuy gets really low trust scores.
Oh, really? Why specifically?
Well, the rating was based on, I think, 53 different factors they flagged at high risk. Things like user reports mentioning phishing outcome.
Phishing. Well,
Yeah, and problems verifying the company's actual address, plus some concerns about where their servers are located. It all points towards, high operational risk.
so it's not just sticker shock on the shipping costs then. It's deeper systemic trust issues. And does this bleed into the products themselves, like authenticity?
It seems to. Independent users, people doing reviews on TikTok and places like that, they've consistently flagged worries about counterfeit goods.
Like what kind of stuff?
Well, simplest examples that keep popping up are things like fake AirPods Pro, other sort of luxury replicas, knockoffs.
So that raises questions about their quality control, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Are they just bad at checking? Or are they maybe deliberately involved in moving fake items?
That's the million-dollar question. Either way, whether it's just poor oversight or something more intentional, the end result for the buyer is the same risk. And, the website itself looks quite professional.
Right, it can look legit.
Exactly, a clean interface. It creates this kind of false legitimacy that can unfortunately mask these pretty significant underlying problems. And we also see some, let's say, suspicious activity with multiple website addresses like kakobi.net, kakobi.d. That just adds to the confusion if you're trying to verify them.
Okay, so we've looked at the fees, the trust scores, the quality control or lack thereof. What's the final verdict here? Are we calling this an outright scam?
I wouldn't go quite as far as pure scam-level fraud. Our analysis suggests KakoBuy does function as a legitimate agent service. You often do get something,
Okay.
but it's deeply characterized by these problematic business practices, primarily the really poor cost transparency and just wildly inconsistent quality control.
So they're sort of exploiting people who don't understand the system.
Pretty much. Especially customers unfamiliar with how opaque this specific cross-border agent model can be.
And that leads to another point, right? Consumer protection.
Yes, and this is critical. When you use an international agent like this, you effectively step outside the usual consumer protection laws you rely on domestically.
Like getting refunds or disputing charges.
Exactly. Trying to do chargebacks, get refunds, especially for counterfeit goods, becomes incredibly difficult. It's not like dealing with a local retailer. There's this sort of interdimensional lack of protection.
That's a good way to put it. So if we put KakoBuy next to competitors, say Superbuy or Wegobi, they seem to have better reputations.
Generally, yes. They tend to be more transparent about their fee structures. And that comparison really highlights something important about the agent model itself. It really only makes economic sense for, say, large bulk orders, or if you're trying to source something really unique that you just cannot get domestically.
Right. Not for, like, one small item.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
It completely falls apart for small orders where the international shipping costs end up being way more than the item itself. And that's the reality KakoBuy seems to obscure, whereas, more established competitors are often clear about that trade-off.
Okay. So Pulling this all together, the clear takeaway for you, the listener, has to be, look at the total economic picture first. Don't just get drawn in by that initial low product price.
Absolutely. Calculate everything.
Because while you might eventually get your package, the final cost you pay, and the, frankly, gamble on whether it's even authentic, those risks are significant.
Very significant.
Which leaves us with this final thought to chew on. If the final cost is so high and the hassle factor is so great, what item is genuinely so rare or so essential that it justifies wading through all this potential shipping theater and risk?